My name is Dan Brightwell. I'm the chairperson of the Southfield Veterans Commission. Today is March 12th, 2008. We are at the Southfield Public Library recording for the Veteran History Project. Today we're interviewing Mr. Rodney A. Caruthers. Mr. Caruthers, could you just give us some background info, place of birth, service, and perhaps you can give me your name too, just in case I pronounced it wrong.
Okay, pronounced correctly.
Okay.
Rodney Caruthers, place of birth, River Rouge, Michigan.
Okay.
This is next to Ecorse, Michigan.
Okay. What year?
1946.
Okay. Okay. What was the highest rank? What branch of service did you serve in, and what was your highest rank?
Served in the Marine Corps and an E5 NCO.
Okay.
Sergeant.
Okay. Did you have any brothers and sisters that served in the military, and what was your parents' background? Your parents' occupation?
Okay, no siblings that served.
Okay.
I was the only one. My parents were. My mom was a homemaker, and my dad worked at Great Lakes Steel.
Okay. Were you drafted or enlisted?
Enlisted.
Okay. What were you doing before you enlisted?
High school.
Okay.
A little bit of high school. Played sports, ran track, played a little basketball.
Okay.
When I got out, I was told that I had two options because college wasn't one of them. So that one option was to get a job, and the other option was to go into service.
Okay. All right. So was this you enlisted for a specific reason? What was it?
Well, number one, the jobs that were available were, again, factory type jobs, and I thought I could probably better my chances of doing something a little different if I went in the military and got some schooling, go with background there. So that was my choice.
Okay. And where were you when you enlisted, and where did you go for the orientation?
Okay, I was in Ecorse when I enlisted. I was at the Fort Wayne is where we were processed through.
Okay.
On 4th Street.
Okay.
I'm saying Ecorse, but that was probably Detroit.
Okay. Okay.
Left Detroit and flew to California for my recruit training.
Okay. Okay. And what day was that? Do you recall?
That was August of 1968.
Okay.
I'm sorry, August of 1964.
Okay.
Got out in 68.
Okay. Why did you choose the Marines?
The toughest.
Okay.
I consider myself, and what guy doesn't? You play all the sports, you want to go with the best.
I guess. All right. So you went to California, you flew to California, and is this your basic, so-called basic training?
That was the basic training for 12 weeks.
Okay.
Boot camp, and then something called ITR, infantry training, for another 4 weeks, for a total of 16 weeks.
Okay.
All my training was 16 weeks long.
Okay.
Before I went home. So I went in and did 4 weeks, and right away did 12 weeks, and right away did another 4 weeks, 16 total. Okay. And then went home for 20 days.
Okay. All right. So your specialized training was infantry, or?
My MOS is what they called it, military occupational specialty.
Right.
That was something called at that time signal intelligence.
Okay.
It was intercept. So I was sent to school when I got out of training. Sent to school in Pensacola, Florida, for training in Russia, and how to intercept signals there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it's called the civilian term would be an intelligence operator.
Okay. Okay. And just being a teenager, what was basic like, and how did you adjust?
Basic for me was fun, again, because I enjoyed the camaraderie and the competition and all of that, and the banging around that we got a little bit of was something that I was pretty used to, with the fighting here and there, so the boxing and the other things that we were allowed to do was right up my alley. I enjoyed it. Okay. I enjoyed every second of the boot camp. In fact, because there were 68 men in my platoon, and I knew that 5 of those men would come out with high honors, which would mean they would come out as PFCs instead of privates. Well, I was one of those 5 that came out with that high honor because I just enjoyed it so much. Little did I know. We'll talk about later.
All right. So you were, as far as the food and the social life and all that kind of stuff, that was
not a problem. SOS was the only thing that threw me off. Couldn't quite get to that. The rest of it.
Sure, I guess. All right. So now we finished your training. In your specialized training, you say you did this where?
Pensacola.
Okay. Once you left Pensacola,
went to Camp Lejeune for the regular grunt training to prepare you. As they say, every Marine is a grunt first. So after I got my intelligence training, then I went there to make sure that I was prepared as a grunt to do the things that we need to do as Marines.
Okay. And how long was that?
That was about 4 months or so. I ended up in Hawaii.
Oh, okay. All right, so now you're in Hawaii.
Kaneohe Bay, Marine Corps Air Station.
Okay. And how did you get to Hawaii?
I'm sorry. How did I get there? Flew over from home. And I was on leave, so I flew there. The longest flight I've ever had in my life.
Right.
We had that.
From Detroit.
Right.
Okay.
So got there, and in Hawaii, I trained basically on what to do in my MOS in preparation for Vietnam.
Oh, okay. So how long was this training in Hawaii?
A year.
A year? 1 year? Okay.
There for a year. And that, you think you have it down.
Right.
It's not.
All right. And what was life like for Marine in Hawaii?
It wasn't a bad life because the base itself was set in a place where near the ocean, and you had a chance to go to Waikiki and do some other things that you wanted to do. So life in Hawaii was like the island itself, was pretty much paradise except for the training. So that's where it got a little more tedious, but the scenery and climate and all that couldn't ask for a better place.
Okay. All right. The training, was it physically strenuous?
Not so much physically strenuous as much as tedious, because once you train for a little while, you're ready to go.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. Okay. All right. So now, you spent your year in Hawaii training. What happened next?
Next was the preparation for Vietnam. I actually volunteered to go, and that was in 1966, around January or so. And after I volunteered, not long afterwards, my father passed. So they flew me back home, and it was just my mother and my younger brother. So my understanding was, if you have a younger sibling, that you're allowed to maybe get back to the States and come on out, get regular discharge and so forth. So I went back to Hawaii thinking that, and I asked them, could I get a hardship discharge, I believe is what it was called. And shortly after that, maybe a month or so, I got word that I was on my way to Vietnam. So they disallowed my discharge, and because I had volunteered earlier, they sent me on. That was the beginning of my changing of mind set about the military.
Okay. So when you went to Vietnam, how did you get there, and where did you land?
Got there, we flew in. It was about 7 or 8 of us. We flew into my train.